Hi, I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Julie.
We're moms and we're super basic. We've got our drinks and we're ready to chat. Cheers.
Cheers.
Today is Friday, January 15th, and we're bringing you all the highs and lows of the past week. So let's get started with our drinks, of course.
I have a rosé, and I don't even know how to say the name. And it appears to be more orange than rosé.
Huh.
Kind of wondering if it went bad.
No. Wait, where is it from? Is it like a French rosé? Because maybe that's why the color's different.
I think rosé is pink no matter what, where it came from.
Just trying to help you out here.
I don't know. What do you think okay, the name looks like Domaine Bousquet. Is that French, you think? Or
Possibly. I was thinking bouquet, bosque, but now I'm thinking, do you think it's biscuit?
I have no idea. I don't love it though.
Aw, okay, so you will not drink again.
Well, I'll finish the bottle.
I found this Pinot Grigio at the liquor store and it had a really high rating. Like if some of your liquor stores have this one's highly recommended by this wine company or whatever, but it's $8.99. So I was like, oh, might as well try it. It's cheap and it was rated as really good. And I liked all the descriptive words. So
That's a great price.
it's pretty good. So yeah, it's a Pinot Grigio. I think it's a Giuliano Rosati.
Like it.
I'm a fan.
So, quarantine check-in. How are you doing?
I've been sulking all week with my coworkers about all the things we're going to miss about working from home because we do start back in the building next week. And those things include that we're going to have to wear real pants and shoes, not rolling out of bed 15 minutes before we have to start working, and not being able to just walk in the kitchen and make myself something to eat. I'm gonna have to pack my lunch, and you know
That's
how
the
much
worst.
I hate packing lunches.
Yeah,
So,
and even just having to think about it and plan it ahead of time sucks.
yes. So
I have to say, I love working from home. I could always work from home. This is my jam. And yes, those are the things I love. Wearing leggings or pajama pants all the time, sleeping till whenever I want, and making what I want when I want it.
yeah. So I'm really dreading going back now that it's all becoming real and it's actually happening. So, but with that said, I feel like the weeks are flying by. I feel like it's just it's Monday, and then next thing you know, it's Thursday, Friday, and it's they just keep going.
Mm-hmm. No, I had the opposite thing this week, right? I texted you on Monday that I was like, does today feel like a week for anyone else? And I had gotten I think it was the Betches newsletter, and it usually comes out on Monday, and I'm like, oh, look at them slacking. It's Wednesday. And oh my God, it's only Monday.
I think that just has their shit together.
Yeah, I was the one that did not have my shit together because I thought it felt like Wednesday and it was Monday. But that's because I've just been crazy slammed with work. And I was telling you about this, I think, over the weekend, but it's really just such a roller coaster, the freelance lifestyle. But yeah, so everybody under the sun that runs their own business, they did their vision boards and their, business plans for 2021, and they all want to hop off new year on a good start. So I'm slammed with work that I do for them, and then it'll dwindle out. So it won't sustain. And I know that now from a couple of years of this cycle, but
yeah,
this is the most slammed I've ever been.
but that's a good thing though.
It is good. Yeah. I mean, I guess there's a part of me that's going back and forth though, because I'm homeschooling now.
Yeah.
If this was last January, I would be like, slam me, give me more, because the kids were at school. But now we're homeschooling, and I really am enjoying homeschooling, and I don't want to like squander that time with them. So it is this real like tug of war that it wouldn't have been this time last year. But I think I'm doing an okay job of balancing it. And yeah, I'm pumped up about it.
I liked your like micro blog on Vermont Mom about like how you were just like having this like day of like, oh my God, I'm doing it, you know? And then Mike scared the crap out of you in the shower.
Yeah. And I mean, that's a pretty typical day here right now, where we're just like doing the most random stuff at the random times of day. Because when else do you take a shower at like 3 p.m. on a weekday and bake a cake at 2? And it's just like we're all over the place and such weird things are happening, but like I kind of like it. We're kind of like doing our own thing.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, so we don't have a ton of celebrity stuff to talk about, but since we've talked about this, I think constantly since it was released on December 25th, Bridgerton has been renewed, not for 1 more season, but for 8 more seasons.
That's amazing. But it's not shocking for people that are invested in Shonda Rhimes' shows, because that's how she does, right? Like Grey's Anatomy has been on for 16, 17 seasons. How to Get Away with Murder, like everything that she's done.
Well, not only that, like, and that was what made me think, like, there's no way it's not getting renewed. Like, it's a Shonda show. But the 8-season renewal, it makes sense because there's 8 more books in the series, right?
Yeah.
Because there's 8 original books. And I'm pretty sure season 1 was basically book 1. And then I think at the end of the regular 8, where there's one for like each of the kids, there's kind of like a revisit of like, where are they now? Kind of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's like a 9th, I think.
So that's what I was just like counting how many kids there were.
Yeah. Oh, and this picture's missing one of the kids because the daughter or sister that's between Eloise
Francesca.
and Hyacinth. Yeah, Francesca. She was in like Bath for every episode of the season except the first and what were there? 8.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I read said that we'll find out more in book 2, or I guess season 2, about why she was in Bath and what was going on there.
Okay, so for those of you that do not know, each book is about like one of the Bridgerton kids, but I am thinking that because there's 9 books total, that and based on titles that I've looked at, like it looks like they visit the parents' story a little bit in one of the books, maybe.
Oh, okay. I can't be enough.
I would hope so, because I feel like they haven't said anything about their father and how he died.
Right. Yeah, I think we'll definitely find out how the dad died in one of the books. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of the son's books, because they tend to have more like daddy issues.
Yeah. So I'm really excited for this, and in anticipation, I will be starting the 2nd book, which is about Anthony.
And are you going to start with the 2nd? Because I know someone else who ordered the books to start them and started with the 2nd and then decided to go back and read the 1st.
And they watched the show?
They watched it just to see, I guess, what was missing, or maybe there were things mentioned in the 2nd that also didn't make it to the show.
Well, you know that I do love comparing books to the screen version, but I am doing this in a group, so with my coworkers.
So I was just going to say, should we do a book club for it? But if you're already doing
we can. We can do something over on the Lonely Mom group.
I would love that.
Yeah. So, but I'm just listening to it at the same time as my coworkers, so that when we're all in the building together, hating life, we have something to talk about that brings us joy.
Have you seen the covers of them? Because they definitely look like the books that were at like the supermarket checkout
Like
when we were growing
Daniel
up.
Steele books, kind of.
Yeah, don't the covers look like that? I'm sure they're getting like a makeover based on the
Oh,
show, but when you look
yeah.
at what they did look like, they
Yeah.
definitely look like the ones that moms were like glancing at the
Yeah.
checkout.
Agreed. I didn't look to see, because you brought up like the, kind of like old style, the covers. When were they published?
Oh,
Did
I
you
have
see
no
that?
idea. No, I don't even think I looked.
Because I
I want
wonder
to
if,
say they're like older than the Outlander books.
yeah, I
I
could
think
see
so.
them being like 90s
I,
books. But like,
based on the covers, I would guess they were 90s.
okay, we'll follow up on that.
Yes. And we'll follow up on if we pull through with a book club.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, just saw this particularly today, though I've heard rumors for a while. So
Mhm.
just so much speculation going on about whether or not Kourtney Kardashian and Travis, that's hard with Kardashian, Travis Barker are dating. So it's known that they're neighbors and they hang out. Whether or not they hang out as more than friends is the question. What do you think?
Um, I've seen that people are speculating it because they're hanging out and they're like commenting on each other's things.
They've been
And
doing that for a while.
yeah, and didn't she like post a movie or something, like one of
Yes,
his favorite movies?
I saw that. She posted like a screenshot of a, not a screenshot, like when you're actually sitting on the couch and you take a picture of the TV screen, like that, of his favorite movie and posted it on her like grid on
Yeah,
Instagram, which people were
yeah,
like, that's weird because she has like a very curated look and feel to her grid. Like it wasn't just
yeah.
the stories. Um, so that got a lot of speculation. And then the other thing that has been getting a lot of speculation lately is that Kourtney got his daughter, Travis's daughter, a like very expensive Christmas present. Apparently it was the same thing that she gifted to Chloe.
Huh.
So
What
people
was
were
it?
like, if his daughter and Chloe like rank the
Yeah.
same to her, like that's
Do
kind of
you
serious.
do you know what it was, what the gift was?
It was a bag. I don't
Oh,
know what kind of bag.
okay. Huh, interesting. I mean, I would love this love connection. I
I
think
would
I
too.
like them together.
Yeah, I'd be down with this.
And even though I'm always holding out that Kourtney and Scott are getting back together, I feel like Scott is just, I'm over Scott's antics, like dating the 19-year-olds.
I
And
know.
so I like
Yeah,
this.
I would love, I mean, obviously, in an ideal world, her and Scott are together. But if Scott can't like peel himself away from 19-year-olds, he's like the low grade Leo, right? Wasn't that always the thing that like Leo breaks up with his girlfriends when they turn 25? Like Scott breaks up with them when they turn 21.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
gross.
Basically. Yeah.
Okay, speaking of gross. um all right, I know I said like we would talk about Army Hammer last, but I just said speaking of gross. So yeah, we went back and forth on whether or not to even talk about this because it's so off the wall and it's so layered and like
Yeah.
complex because it's not just a like, you know, weird sexual preference or fetish thing. There's actual like real serious allegations coming out
Yeah.
that are not good. And because I didn't really say what this is about Army Hammer, most notably from Rebecca and the Social Network. And I
Hmm.
guess he did things in between those, but I don't know what.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically wealthy, rich white guy has like more extreme than 50 Shades of Grey kinks.
Yeah. This is not like cute or like, oh, that could be fun kind of stuff.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is like terrifying.
There's a lot of back and forth about whether or not the screenshots are doctored.
Hmm.
But some people are saying they're not, and then more people are piling on. Apparently, he had like slaves, like a harem of slaves. Yeah, and the most absurd and crazy of the stuff talked about how he was like turned on by the idea of was he ate a deer's heart
All right,
and
I
he
missed that part.
wanted to do it to the girl.
I saw something that like he messaged an ex like that he wanted to like break her rib and eat the meat off of it or eat her flesh
I just saw that one
something
today.
like
Yeah,
that. And I was like, what the F? Like, this is so,
that is some weird dirty talk. Like that is not.
it's not even dirty. It's like, it's disturbing. It's not like, it's,
Well, and
yeah,
then people are like, well, don't like kink shame. Like that's a kink, and it's like, no, 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 no. Murdering other people is not a kink. Like
that's
that's
like, what's his face? Why can't I think of his name right now?
Jeffrey Dahmer to like
Yes.
eat people. Yeah, that's. It sounds like he's turned on by the things that Jeffrey Dahmer did.
Yeah.
Good way
Yeah.
of putting it.
Not how I thought that his life was going to turn out when I saw him in The Social Network.
No, 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 nope, nope.
So yeah, so we'll see what transpires with this story because
Oh,
it's
he's
been happening for
already
the past few
getting.
days.
Yeah, he's already been getting dropped by films, though. I heard that Lionsgate let him go from a movie that he was supposed to star in with J-Lo. And
Hmm.
the latest rumors are that they're trying to replace him with Josh Duhamel,
Okay.
which I don't. He seems more like goofy to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's
Yeah.
still good looking, but like,
Yeah, but he's also older than Army Hammer too.
is he?
So I don't know what they're
Yeah,
going
probably.
for. Yeah, because
Yeah.
remember he was in that like that movie I watched about like the ranch
Yes.
with I forget what was her
What
name.
was that?
It was we talked about it on here.
I know. That's what. As soon as you said it, I was like picturing the like.
Who was the chick in it?
Oh my gosh, that just made me think of all of the things that I watched over Christmas that we didn't talk about last week. Because I went on a little bit of a binge of like weird Christmas movies that I don't normally watch. Like I'm not a Hallmark Christmas movie person.
Yeah, it was one of those type of
Yeah.
movies. Ah, it's killing me. But he was like, I remember thinking when I watched that, oh my gosh, Josh Duhamel got really old.
Well, let
So
us not forget J-Lo's 50. So like her love interest should
true.
be in their 40s, right?
That's true. But JLo does not look
No,
50.
she does not look 50. Not at all.
And in other news, we're hearing rumors of there being some um, possible separation between Dale and Claire from The Bachelorette. So, yeah,
Okay, so let me break this down.
yeah, break it down,
So
Julie.
you know that I follow Dumois on Instagram and then Facebook group and everything. And so there was a blind a couple days ago that said something about Dale saying that he's only in it for fame right now, getting as much, they're sort of like working together to
Mm-hmm.
get as much like sponsorships,
Mm-hmm.
publicity, money, make as much off of it as they can. And
Mm-hmm.
then like they'll just like call it a day. But it didn't say that it was Dale, but it was like, new what was it? Controversial reality couple. Like who else is a new controversial reality couple?
There's not like reality TV on right now because everything's shut down.
Except, the end of The Bachelorette with Tasha and Zach, but they're not controversial. Like I think everybody's on board with that. So
Yeah.
it was very clear that it was about Dale and Claire. So then, okay, this weekend, Dale and Claire apparently stayed at the beach with Dale's cousin. And then after the weekend, reportedly, Claire and the cousin unfollowed each other. And then the cousin posted a story that said, "We know the truth, now unfollow us in real life." And I mean, what is a clue? I don't know. So the song that's playing with it is Thank God for the Trap. So there's a part of me that's like, does he think Claire is trying to trap Dale? Because remember, she was all about like babies. And then since then, Dale posted sort of like an ominous story post about, you know, God and everything will work out and this and that, and trust in God's path kind of post. And Claire had like a series of stories about having like the worst day ever and her mom knowing she was having a bad day and this and that. So who knows what's going on with them?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it was ever going to work out.
Yeah, I feel like it was, I mean, I'm amazed it's lasted as long as it has, but it could also be something like a bad kind of, you know, a fight with the cousin that's now making it look like they broke up. You know what I mean? Like they could still be together and just kind of be at odds with the cousin.
Right. It could be both of them against the cousin, or like the cousin misreading something, or you never know. They could be totally fine as a couple unit. We have no idea.
Because it does say, it says Claire unfollowed that cousin last night. He unfollowed her too and posted this on his, oh wait, no, the cousin's a guy? I thought the cousin was a girl for some reason.
I got the impression it was a girl because it seemed like a girlish thing to do.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I just
assumed. I was like, oh, interesting.
Oh, this is a dude. Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it could be like a situation where it's like the cousin hung out with them and was like, no, bro, like this chick's this or that. And then Dale was like, no, get out of here. And then it's like, who knows? Could be anything.
We'll keep following these breaking news stories for you.
So normally next we talk about what's on the blog this week, but I am a failure and there was nothing new on the blog this week. So I did want to mention, just because even though we had nothing new on the blog this week, we've got insane web traffic coming through from a post that's almost 2 years old now that Claire wrote in February of 2019 about the KonMari method and when tidying up first came out. So if anyone, which apparently half of America is still into tidying up and KonMari, and you want a legit checklist on, it's like in depth, it's very thorough. Head on over to the blog and check it out, like the couple thousand of other people are every week.
I will admit, I still use the KonMari folding method that she teaches you to fold shirts and stuff like that for your clothes. So still a fan as well.
Okay. So what are you watching, listening to?
Okay, so Kevin and I started watching a show called Succession, which is on HBO Max. Unfortunately, I am not a fan.
Are you not into it? Because I totally want to watch it, but we do not have HBO Max. Partially because I follow everything Betches, and before the podcast was at Betches, it was something else. Or was it at Betches and they just changed the format? But they used to always talk about like the Sunday night HBO show. Like when it was Game of Thrones, they would talk about Game of Thrones. And when it was Succession, they would talk about Succession, but I wasn't watching it, so I never knew what they were talking about. So I always wanted to watch. Not good?
It's just not for me. And I think it's like, I told Kevin, I just felt like it was a little slow and it dragged. And I like the characters, but I'm kind of just like, where is this going? Like it doesn't, I don't know. I feel like I need a show to kind of like take me along. And this show is just like dragging me. So I would like to like it, but it needs to like pick up the pace a little bit, I think.
Gotcha.
However, I found the like funniest, best podcast I think I've listened to in a long time, Smartless, and it's with Jason Bateman, Sean Hayes, and Will Arnett. And the three of them are hysterical together. Just like their banter and how they like pick on each other and just call each other out for stuff is really funny. But it's not really just them talking to each other. They interview different guests. So they've had on, I listened to Megan Rapinoe and
I don't know who that is. Who's
the
that?
soccer player from the U.S. women's soccer team.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Am I saying her name wrong? It might be Megan Rapinoe.
I don't know.
I think it's Rapinoe. And James Corden. And next up, I think I'm going to listen to the Reese Witherspoon one because, like, it's just, I don't know, it's so funny. And they just kind of like talk to them about whatever they're doing or how they got their start or whatever. But
isn't it like armchair experty? Sounds kind
of. Yes, but like, I like the back and forth more.
Okay. I'm going to check it out because I like Armchair Expert, but sometimes I want there to be more lighthearted episodes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets a little too like, it goes too long before there's like a fun one.
Yeah.
So I will check this out, but it does make me curious. Is there a connection between the three of them? Like I'm racking my brain for something that they've all been in together.
I don't know. I think they're just friends.
Okay.
I can't remember if there's something. Are Jason Bateman and Will Arnett in something together?
I feel like I could more picture the two of them in something. Was he in? Well, I know Jason Bateman was, but was Will Arnett in the Horrible Bosses movies?
No. I'll have to look into that. But it's a easy, fun listen, and I really like their banter.
Mm-hmm.
Highly recommend. And they have a bunch of episodes, so it's not like something where you listen to one and you're like, I want more, and they've only have like one more episode. They've got a bunch already. So
yeah. Okay, so I ordered Discover Your Dharma by Sahara Rose. Not necessarily because I was like, man, I want to discover my Dharma. But
yeah, how did you come across this?
So I follow her podcast and I get her emails, and I actually love, I think it was her second book, is like a cookbook that also talks about like Ayurveda, and it just has like the most beautiful pictures, and everything I've made from it has been delicious. So like I've followed her ever since then, and she had like a deal to pre-order the book on Amazon. So I pre-ordered, and I think it was cheaper since I pre-ordered. It came last week. I'm like in the first chapter. I'll probably read most of it, but a lot of it's a bit over my head. I am like very peripheral, like woo-woo kind of. Like I can understand most of it, but I don't totally like jump over into it.
What do you mean? I'm not following.
What? Like
what is like too over your head that she's talking about?
Oh, okay. So the first sort of like fill out paper that you come to is about like ancestral healing. So it's like I've heard of it.
What does that mean?
It's like this idea that you're, made up of everything that's happened in like your ancestors' backgrounds.
Okay.
And you kind of have to like address it to figure out like what's going on in your life. And I think that people that are very into ancestral healing, I think they believe that we sort of like hold on to like past traumas from our ancestors.
Okay.
So yeah, like I'm like, okay, I'll read about that, but I'm not sure I'm buying in 100%, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm just like really ignorant to where I'm like, do I just not know enough about my ancestors to know what their trauma would have been?
Well, yeah, that's when I got to that like worksheet. It was asking questions. I'm like, shit, I don't know.
Yeah, like, is that bad?
I know. And it's like, I bet if I thought about it, like I could figure out what they would have been generally based on the time period they were alive, where they lived. But I also think that maybe for you and I, it's a little less, well, and I can't speak for you. Let me
Mm-hmm.
just back that
Yeah.
up.
What do you mean?
I think that I come from a very privileged lineage.
Okay, so that was going to be the word that I
Yeah.
was going to say too, but I, again, didn't want to speak for you.
Yeah. So other than the women going through the typical like women, struggles,
Yeah.
I would think that overall there weren't too many struggles. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, agreed. So that's why I feel like, that's why I said, like, I'm just not aware, or are they not there? You know?
Right, right. Yeah, so I mean I'm only on chapter 1. The first section had a couple different areas where you could like fill in answers, and like I said, I already skipped the first page of answers because I was like, I've got no clue. But it did make me curious. I almost Googled ancestral healing today.
Yeah. I've never heard of it. But I mean, yeah. Hmm. Okay. What else do you got going on?
So, ER progress update. We are on season 9 of 15, so it doesn't leave me too much time to watch anything else, because I only watch things after Mike goes to bed. But I did start Northern Rescue the other day, which is the teen equivalent of like a Virgin River or Sweet Magnolia. It does have one of the Baldwin brothers, not Alec. I have no clue if it's Billy or Steven.
I think it's Steven.
They all look the same. And yeah, so the premise here is their dad is a search and rescue captain in Boston. Their mom dies pretty suddenly, and the dad decides to accept a job in the tiny little town him and his wife grew up in and where they met, and it's called like Turtle Bay or something like that, in I think Ontario, Canada. Tiny little town. They end up living in like an abandoned aquarium by some sort of means. It's got all the little like kitschy things that happen in all those other types of shows.
Yeah.
But this one is narrated by the teenage daughter, which is why I said it's more like those, but like more focused on the teens. Like the adults are sort of in it, but it's more about the teenagers.
Okay. So it's kind of like your Riverdale-esque kind of.
Yeah, it's like no, all right, I'm also only 2 episodes in, so I don't totally know. But nothing supernatural yet. Except there's a random penguin that shows up that I think is going to be like their mom's spirit.
What the heck are you watching and reading? Like, tell me something. Okay, so tell me about The Bachelor, because that seems to be the most relatable.
Okay, so this is my first time watching a season of The Bachelor. You know that I jumped in on the whole thing with Claire as the Bachelorette because she looked like she was cray-cray, and I was all about that. And so The Bachelor, I don't know, like it's just making me realize how much I hate girls.
Yeah.
And tell me if it's worse this season than past seasons. This Victoria character, I just want to punch her in the face.
Okay.
And
disclaimer, I have not watched yet because when we got HBO Max, I canceled Hulu, and I was like, crap, I use Hulu to watch The Bachelor. So I haven't started watching yet. And I don't know if I'm going to, because I feel like these past 2 seasons of The Bachelor and The Bachelor are just so much more watered down than they normally are because of the pandemic and their limitations.
Well, I'll tell you, this compared to The Bachelorette seems totally different. Whereas like The Bachelorette, the dates were like, what can we do at the pool at the hotel?
Yeah.
Like this things, they actually did things. On the dates that were more interesting, though I do listen to like the Bachelor Breakdown now, and they made it seem like still the dates were not quite up to par with like regular, but they're definitely like, if we're talking about La Quinta down here, they're like up here. But yeah, I mean, there's some girls that are like really cool there's some really pretty girls, but there's some stuff that it's just like, this is so stupid. Like we're just trying to make entertaining TV, but it's stupid.
Yeah, I feel like with some of the storylines and things that they have the contestants, I guess you could call them, say to each other and bring up, it's like, oh my God, like clearly a producer like told you to say that and talk about it and bring, you know what I mean? And it's like too much drama.
Well, and not even that. There's like one girl showed up the first night with like a dildo, and it's like, oh, come on. Like, ugh. And then like this other girl lists her profession as queen, and the way she acts is just like nobody actually acts like that. Like it can't be real. It's
Yeah.
100% just put on. And she's, I mean, this is mean, but she's so much less attractive than the rest of the girls that it's like very obvious that she's only there to stir the pot. Do you know what I mean? Like if she was at least attractive and had a real job and smart, but like a little bit crazy, it'd be, like more believable. But this is so off the wall. Like she looks so bad in everything. Her bra's out and everything. Like she doesn't know how to wear a bra that doesn't show with her clothing. She's got huge dark circles under her eyes. Like she got drunk and like fell asleep on the couch and woke up in like every scene. It's
So
like
she's not like your typical like put together bachelor.
Well, see, I don't even know what a typical like.
No, they've like there's things that have come out in the past, like how much money they spend on all the clothes that they bring and all the prep that they do to go on to these shows. Like there was something a few seasons ago saying like some of the girls spend like tens of thousands of dollars to prepare to go on the show.
Well, she's definitely a plant then.
Yeah.
And there's also like no romantic spark between her and what's his name? Matt James? Matt or Mike? Matt?
Oh my God. I think it's Matt.
I think it's Matt. I know the initials are MJ because there's a girl that's name is MJ and she like made a joke about it. There's no spark. Like he's being told to keep her there. Yeah, there's nothing romantic between them. So it's just, so that's kind of just like stupid to me.
Well, and I think for people that watch it every season, like they can totally see who these people are, that they're like, okay, and you have to keep her on because she's the drama, she's the entertainment value. People are waiting for her, you know, to do something or say something.
I think more people are irritated and annoyed with this woman than watching it for her antics.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There's people angry, like we don't have time to get into it, but she's also very clearly othering the women of color. Like the way she speaks about them as like they.
What?
Yeah, it's terrible. Like I cannot believe they're putting this woman on TV.
Well, in the previous season, there was a guy on Lee. He was on Lee. I think he was on Rachel's season, maybe. And he was like it was brought up that he had these racist tweets, and it was like, no. And he like tried to defend it and say like, oh, it was, you know, that wasn't me, or, you know, it doesn't represent me. And then like he was gone. So I think like as awful as that sounds, like sometimes the Bachelor and Bachelorette does that just to create the drama. And think about that. Like how awful is that?
That's awful. That's awful. All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay. Accounts to follow. Tell me about yours.
As always, I like following DIY accounts, and this chick, farmhouse-ish, just did her countertops in her kitchen. So she did like, she had like old school granite countertops, like just like, you know, like a color that wasn't like, you know, not popular anymore. And she painted them and then did the epoxy on top. So now she has like faux marble countertops. So I've just been like following this story for the past 2 weeks of her doing this process, and I'm looking at my kitchen, I'm like, should I do it?
Yeah. Am I doing it? I will say that is a beautiful feed. Like, I can't scroll that picture right now, but that is, like, the lighting is beautiful. It looks really pretty.
Yeah, all of her stuff's so pretty. And I'm getting to a point now where I'm like, I think I want to change everything in my house.
Okay, so my follow for this is Sinisterhood podcast. The at is Sinisterhood Pod. It's hysterical. They're just the funniest two women. They're both from Texas. They have the funniest accents. They tell the funniest stories. They have the funniest chemistry, and then they talk about true crime. So it's everything I love. Christy, one of the hosts, just had her second baby, a little boy. Last week, I think they posted pictures in the feed this week. And because of that, they re-released their most popular episode. So go today and it will be the first episode in your feed, and listen to it if you want to hear the funniest story you will ever hear told on a podcast. And I am not building that up.
Okay, now I have to listen tomorrow morning when I listen to all my podcasts.
So if you go into Sinisterhood podcast and you look at the first one, it was re-released either like Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. It'll say re-release, and then it's a guy's name. It's about a guy who went missing while scuba diving.
Okay.
Most of theirs, they don't typically do really like gruesome types of ones or upsetting ones. It's usually things that are a little lighter.
Okay.
They did a really, really funny series on the Kennedys leading up to like the 25th anniversary of JFK's assassination last November.
It couldn't have been 25 years.
No, you're right. 50? Just 50
years? Because didn't it happen in 73 or something?
I think it happened in 64. Maybe it was 75. Can we do math? I think it happened in 64.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
What was that book? Like 11, 12?
64 or 3? It's 63 or 64. Because it was, because then LBJ was president after him, and he was
a history person
that got really involved in the Vietnam War.
It's dang it, you're right.
Which
11, 22, 63.
63. Okay.
All right. You were right.
Yeah, how many years would that have been in 20?
37 plus 20, 57.
Maybe it was the 55th anniversary? I don't know why. Maybe they just did it in November because that's when it happened. I have no idea.
Okay.
But their Kennedy series is really good. They do like an episode on like Chappaquiddick with like Teddy, how I like to know that story. And then they do really funny LBJ impersonations.
So check them out.
Yeah. Definitely listen to the re-release of the current episode up.
Okay.
Funniest story you'll ever hear. All right. Meme time. What do you got for me?
Okay, so this wasn't related to all of the events going on in the world right now, but it actually made me laugh out loud because I feel like it's something that I would do to Kevin. So it says, it's a guy, and it says, shout out to the raccoon who got in my trash last night and left the Wendy's wrapper in the driveway that I was hiding from my wife because we are eating healthy this week. You're a dick.
I saw that one, and I guess because like we don't ever eat healthy, I was like, but I didn't even think that was going to be the one you picked this week. I had you pegged for a different one.
Okay, well, tell me yours, and then tell me what you thought I was going to pick.
Okay, so I did the one that says when you get impeached for the second time and can't even tweet about it, and then it shows those lonely guy pictures, but Trump's face is superimposed on
Wait, you know who the guy is, though, right?
No, who is it?
Wait, oh my God, now I forgot his name. Who was the guy that got, was it Cuba? Oh my God, I probably sound so stupid. Pablo Escobar?
Oh, wait, he's not from Cuba though.
Where is he?
A
Like
drug dealer, maybe
the
like
cartel?
and he like yeah, he built like his own prison, that guy?
I don't know about the prison part, but this is from, those pictures are from like the movie when he's like by himself and can't talk to anyone because like everyone's coming after him.
Oh my God, I never knew who. So it's the actor that plays him in the movie. I just always thought it was like Lonely Guy.
No, it's like they're like shots from like frames from that. Oh, what was it?
That's so funny.
What was the cartel? I forget what it was. We watched it, but yeah, which makes it even funnier.
That
Um,
makes it even funnier.
so what did you think that I was gonna pick?
It was one that was just sent today. Hold on.
I did have a
Oh,
few that,
everybody. um. Oh, the Bridgerton one that said "fuck boys from 1813."
yeah, I
Thought we were
was,
gonna
but
do
I
that one.
didn't want to say F boy. I didn't want to say that. So I did like that one though.
I definitely thought that's what you were going for.
All right. Well, that's a wrap on this week. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to sign up for our email list where you can get all of our posts in your inbox first thing in the morning.
When we actually post them.
See you again next week. Bye.